Well, it happened again. I don't know. I'm going to have to ditch Streamlabs once we get some people rolling in here. It did it again. I don't know. Randizzle and I were all ready, waiting to go. Hopefully some people start funneling in here. I don't know what's going on. Apparently I'm still horrible at YouTube. Bassin' with Eddie, what's up, man? Hopefully we'll get some people rolling in. If we can have somebody jump over to that other live and let people know what happened. I know, Jacob, what's up? What's up, everyone? Hey, hi, just found it. If somebody could jump over, please, to that other live and let everybody know that I'm an idiot and still can't get my Streamlabs to work. I'm going to have to troubleshoot. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm so sorry, guys. Randizzle and I were waiting in there ready, and I launched it. I logged out of Streamlabs because you connect Streamlabs to your YouTube deal, and I already had that pre-made one ready to go, obviously, as we had, I don't know, a bunch of people in there already. So, hey, for everybody joining in, if you could please jump over somebody to that other chat and let folks know that we're over here. So just go to my channel. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened or why it's doing this. I don't know. Streamlabs problems. Yes, Hellabass. What's up, man? Thanks for joining, dude. Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on with Streamlabs. I don't get it. I don't know if I'm going to have to ditch that or Shadow Bassin. Thank you very much for letting the folks in the other chat know. I am so sorry, guys. I don't know. Dizzle was with me. We were ready to go. We had everything out and ready, but I don't get it. I mean, I use Streamlabs. I logged out of Streamlabs back into it before, so I thought that was the deal because when I brought it up, when I brought Streamlabs up, it said something has expired. So I thought I just had to log out and log in. I'm like, oh, this is going to be the issue. We're going to be good to go. And it wasn't. I don't know. Randizzle, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I don't know what's going on, man. But welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me on a Saturday night. Sorry we kind of had to jump over here to this one. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Got people saying, what's going on? No Dizzle tonight. Yeah, Dizzle was supposed to be on. We were all ready to go. We were all over in that pre-made, the preset live that I had going on. And we tried to launch through Streamlabs. So the deal is YouTube does, as a platform, doesn't allow you to have guests directly through YouTube. So I just went to YouTube and went live on my computer. So if you want to have guests on, you have to use some sort of third-party like connection deal. So I was using Streamlabs OBS, and it's worked every single time. I don't know why. The last two times I tried to get Jim on, it didn't work. I just tried to get Randizzle on now. I thought I had everything figured out, but I don't know. I don't get it. So I might have to go over to whatever that other thing is called. Hellabass uses it. I know I've had a couple people say, dude, you should just switch to that. So I'm probably going to have to look into that. I've also had some people asking me to put this on a podcast. I don't know anything about that, but I think whatever that other thing is, Hellabass, whatever that is you use, if you're still in here, I don't know. But I think you can stream that to YouTube and it automatically uploads it to a podcast. I don't have anything set up to a podcast, but I've had a number of people ask for that. StreamYard, yes, thank you, brother. StreamYard automatically does that for you. So I guess I'd have to get all that set up. I don't know anything about podcasts or how to do any of that. Clearly, I don't even know anything about Streamlabs. So, all right. So thank you all for joining me. Welcome on a Saturday night. We were going to talk spring tactics with Randizzle. You've just got the DEBO'S show tonight. Hopefully, Dizzle will be showing up over in the comments here. He can chime in as needed, but it's almost spring. So I went out today with Pops and Randizzle. We did a little bit of ice fishing, and it's probably going to be one of the last ice fishing deals. Maybe next weekend. We got out and there were still like 12 inches of ice out there. I'm honestly just ready for spring. I'm ready for open water. I know a lot of you don't love the ice fishing stuff. You know, South Texas, Florida, you know, people are already fishing for bass up on beds and such. It's crazy to think how far they are ahead, but I'm ready for spring. But today was interesting. I didn't have great luck on the water. I caught a bunch of fish. I caught probably 30 fish in one hole. I caught like 11 crappie, but they were all like 6 inches, you know, a bunch of little crappie. So it just stinked. I couldn't get on any good fish. I caught one perch. It was just under 10 inches, which is a good keeper, and one like 8.5-inch bluegill. And that's it. nothing else. So I didn't keep fish. I am going to make a video out of it because there was a drunk individual who came out and I think wanted to fight me. It led to words, and I ended up turning my GoPro off, and I had some choice words for him. But it was interesting. I've never had that really happen on the water. So yeah, I'll have to explain. It was some crazy stuff, but we're going to talk spring fishing. Ice is starting to melt here. Hopefully we're going to have open water soon. Some of the rivers and stuff might be open. Some of the small ponds might even be open here soon, but we had quite a bit of ice with that polar vortex deal. We were like 40 some degrees below at some point, almost 40 below with wind chill. So I don't know. It's going to be here for just a little bit, but I'm ready for it to be done. So I know there's questions coming in. Leave your questions in the comments. I'm going to rely on a lot of you to drive some of the spring tactics and fishing stuff. Like I said, it was going to be me and Dizzle kind of going back and forth with stuff, but now that I can't, I need you all to help me because I really didn't have anything planned. I was just going to make fun of Randy all night, and he was going to make fun of me back, and we'd all laugh. But now it's just me. I'm tired of talking to a camera by myself, dang it. Thanks, Streamlabs, for being junk. I saw a few questions about baitcasters and stuff. I have been doing some like casting deals just to go out and actually get the big rods out, test some of the reels, and do some casting tests. So I did one. I don't know when that was. When that dropped, was that Thursday? I don't even remember. Testing some of the old baitcasters up against some of the new baitcasters. It was pretty fun. Randy Dizzle and I went out Friday. Was that Friday? Went out Friday and did another deal to test some stuff. Oh, was that was yesterday? Oh my gosh, yeah. So I tested some, I would say, budget reels. Everything was $100 and below, so it was kind of that budget range. $100 is really like I think where you get the best bang for the buck. So it was $100 reels and below, doing some casting tests, and it was with a lighter lure, so a 1/4 ounce little swim bait is what I put on there. 1/4 ounce total. It's one of those pre-rigged storm deals with 10-pound line. I had a bunch of people asking for that before, and I'd kind of given some of my feedback on that. But I had an Instagram post where I had the SLX and the Daiwa Tatula 100, and I had, I don't know, probably 20 DMs of people asking me about different reels that they can use to cast some lighter lures. So I did that one. It was pretty fun. I think there were 6 reels total. By the end of it, it was pretty cold, and I was ready to be done. But I've got another one planned to do a little bit higher price reels, so like 100 and I don't know. I'd have to look at the list. There's a couple old reels that'll be in that, and then some newer reels like the $150-ish price point. I think I've got a $200 reel, an old reel that used to be like $300 and some dollars. Subscribe Fish and Friend sent it to me, but it's an old reel now. It's one of the old Shimano cores, which is great at casting lighter lures. I got my hands on an older Shimano Aldebaran. It was the one that was released right before the MGL. I think that one came out in 2019, the Aldebaran MGL. The regular Aldebaran, I want to say, came out in 15, 16. I really don't remember, to be honest, but I wasn't huge into like that kind of stuff, so I didn't really pay a whole bunch of attention. But I've got that coming. It's going to be fun. I'm excited just to go out and cast some more. I'm more excited for open water, but what do we have? I see a bunch of people. How many do we have? Almost 200 people in here. Thank you all so much. If you're in here, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. You already know that, though. I don't know why I would even say that. I've never said that before. I felt the need to. I looked up and saw the thumb up thing. I don't have that on Streamlabs, so teaching me bad habits. But I've seen a few questions on the SLX DC. Tanner Hoffman was the last one. Thoughts on the SLX DC? It's a good reel. I am way overdue for the review on that. I've had, I don't know how many people asking about a Shimano SLX DC reel review. I've had everything from, is the SLX DC the best reel for beginners because it doesn't backlash, to is the SLX DC just as good as the Corrado? Is the DC worth it? I mean, about every question you could think of for a DC reel. It is the most affordable DC reel. I do see some advantages to it, but I don't think it's the be all end all for folks. especially if you already know how to use a baitcaster. It's not backlash proof. And I think that's what a lot of newer folks think is if you get a DC reel, it will never backlash. I actually just had somebody hit me up on Instagram saying, hey, I just picked up a SLX DC in my first cast. I backlashed with it. So yeah, you can still backlash with them. Once you get it dialed in, though, it is a pretty solid reel. I do like it. But there are some things I want to discuss and kind of go through. So that's going to be coming soon. Like I said, I'm way overdue on it. Maybe in the next week or so here, I'll get that done. I'm way behind on gear reviews. It's ridiculous. So, all right. So what do we have going on? What's a high-speed gear ratio good for? Jacob Rios. A high-speed gear ratio, it kind of depends on who you talk to. For me, I like a higher speed gear ratio for things where I'm moving the lure with the rod and not the reel. So if I flip a jig out there and I'm just barely bouncing it back and kind of dragging it, I'm just reeling up that slack. So I'm not, winching anything in. I don't really care about the speed. All the movement's coming from the rod. The reel's taking up slack line, but it's also allowing me to set that hook, take up any slack line, and get that fish turned fast. So I like it for things like a Texas rig, a jig I fish on like a higher 7.5. I don't go way high up in the gear ratios. I've got a couple 8 to 1s. Nothing higher than that, though. You'll have some people who will contest that and say, well, if you're throwing a jig or a Texas rig or a frog, you want something where you've got more power. So like a 6-speed is actually better, because once you get them in that slop and stuff and you need to torque and wrench them in, you've got more power with a lower gear ratio reel than you do for a higher gear ratio. So you set the hook and sometimes it's hard to reel. So you'll see guys dropping the rod tip, reeling up to them and then pulling them in. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. I like a 7 gear ratio. You can do so much with it. You can frog, flip, pitch. I have used some of the higher stuff like 9.0. I wasn't really impressed, but I do like some of the higher speed stuff. But really, it's all going to depend on who you talk to and what you're comfortable with. That was kind of a long-winded answer to that. Sorry. Mike asked, what is your best budget baitcaster flipping combo? Mike, that's a great question. I've got a few of them. So when you're getting into flipping and pitching and anything where you're going to be setting the hook hard, so what I mean is where you're actually waiting, dropping the tip and swinging on a fish hard, things like a crankbait where you're just pulling into the fish, things where you're not going super hard on the reel, you can get away with an all graphite framed reel. If you're flipping and pitching a jig, Texas rig, frog, I am a huge proponent of getting a reel that at least has an aluminum frame. A lot of people will go a step further and say, get a reel that has an aluminum side plate as well. So it's kind of up to you. I'm not bashing graphite framed reels. I think they do have a place, and I have multiple that have lasted me fine when I'm not abusing them. But frogging, punching, flipping and pitching, that's some of the hardest stuff you can do on a reel. And when you get a reel with an aluminum frame and that aluminum handle side plate, it's going to reduce torque twisting on that reel. And it's going to allow that reel to last longer. I fully believe that. I'm a big proponent of it. I have a lot of people ask me, is there like a $60 reel I can buy? Save up, put the extra $40 to it and get like that $100 reel. That's where you start seeing the reels with an aluminum frame. So that's what I would do. What do we have here? Richard Souza, while your stream was called Fishing Ideas, why not do tips for planning a fishing trip? That's a great idea. I guess I don't know what all I would go to on that, Richard. I know I'm behind on comments. Leave me a comment and let me know. I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'd go into. I actually was going to do a video because I kind of laugh about it. The different stages of a fishing trip and the different like emotions that you go through, depending on if it's a good day or a bad day, because you get up like at 4:30 in the morning and you're ready to go. It's not like getting up for work at 4:30 in the morning where you're like, oh, I don't want to get up and you're hitting snooze. Like, I'm excited. I get up. I'm like, yep, I'm up. I'm getting my stuff ready. I can't wait to have my coffee, eat my breakfast on the road. I love that drive before I get to the place when it's still dark. I don't know why. That's like one of my favorite things. Love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, I don't know. I could do something like that. Take you through. I might even do like a whole video on going to a brand new place and just kind of walk you through, like, what do I do? What's going through my head? See if we can catch some fish and just kind of go from start to finish on going to a new lake. What do you do? Especially, you know, as somebody new to it, where do you even start? There's a lot of things to think about. So let's see. We got some folks that say they're going to go out fishing. I can't wait for open water. I want to do that as well. Richard said, oh, Dizzle starting his own channel soon. I hope so, Dizzle. Let's see. Vince Sabin, best place to get replacement bearings for Baitcasters. You'll know I support spool speed bearings. I've had the pleasure of meeting Scott, the owner. Super nice guy, very passionate about what he does. He does like the aftermarket hybrid bearings, like the ceramic bearings. But I mean, there's a bunch of places you can get them off of. I know there's folks that get like the orange seal bearings off of like eBay or whatever. I'm sure you could even get replacement bearings on Amazon or something cheap if you didn't want like the hybrid stuff, just regular ones. Also, don't be afraid to call the company. So if you have a Luz reel, give Luz a call. Abu, give Abu a call. They can tell you the exact specs. And a lot of times, if it's just a small thing like a spool tension knob, I think I had to call Luz for that. I lost one somehow. They sent me one for free. So a lot of companies will do that. So they might even send you, you know, bearings or whatever free or at a very low cost. But there's a number of places you can look at and go out, check them out. Hey, we had a donation. Tyler Bailey. Did you get a crappie kit that I had sent to you? I did. Yes, Tyler. That will be coming up in an unboxing soon. Thoughts on it? I honestly just looked at it quick because I wanted to go over all my thoughts and keep it as fresh and as real as possible on the unboxing. So I looked at it, but first impression was this is pretty sweet, especially the bags you put in that were not part of the box. I want to do a giveaway and give away some of the stuff in the box, but some of that I want to keep because it looks pretty sweet. So Tyler, thank you very much for sending that in. I appreciate you, man. But yes, I will be getting to that, and you'll see that on an unboxing soon. Another donation from Mike. Mike, thank you, man. It's almost time to be fishing here in Jersey. Happy fishing, man. I preaching the choir, dude. I cannot wait to be out on the water fishing. And thank you for everybody that donates to my stream and everything. I'm not asking for it. I don't have any giveaways or anything tonight. I'm actually out of stickers. I'm finally getting pretty caught up on lure painting. I've had a few people messaging me and talking to me about that back and forth, but I'm pretty close to actually launching that and selling some baits. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. I'm probably going to do some small stuff there, but one of my buddies, Brando, thank you so much, dude, is helping me with a website. So it's weird to say, but I'm going to have a DEBO'S fishing website selling my own lures sometime. It's crazy. I never thought that would be possible, but it's because of all you folks and the support. So hopefully they'll sell and it goes well. If not, I won't do it. I did see something come up in here. I don't remember where it was, but I did get some stuff actually from Do It. Good folks over at Do It. They're like an hour away from my house. So we're going to partner up on a couple projects this year. I'm going to be going up there soon, hopefully, and shooting a couple videos, but I've been wanting to for a while. I just got some of their jig molds and stuff. I know some of the stuff is back ordered and I couldn't get some things, but hopefully I can get some finesse jig hooks. And I can get Randizzle over here and we can make a certified Randizzle approved finesse jig. I think that'd be pretty fun. He can pick out some colorways and stuff, but just do some messing with that, you know, messing with some tackle. Yeah, I love tinkering. I like creating new things and messing with my own stuff. So it should be fun, some fun times. Bassin with Eddie said, hey, Debo, the reel I sent you shows it's delayed. Should be in your P.O. box next day or two. Bassin with Eddie, thank you very much, man. I've had a few awesome subscribe fishing friends donate some reels and stuff to the channel. So, I mean, it really does blow me away. I don't know if people think I just say that, but I'm a dude here in Iowa, a person just like you all in my basement filming a video. And the fact that I have people sending crappie kits or reels, lures, whatever it is blows me away. You know, I'm just a guy who loves to fish. So that's why I'm trying to do a lot more of the small business stuff. Shout out some of the small businesses, promote that because those folks need help more now than ever. You know, I'm still going to order from Tackle Warehouse and such, but obviously they're not hurting for any money. So Matt Erickson asked, anybody tried the Hog Tech reel handle upgrades? Just want to know. Okay. So I've had a plan to do a reel handles only vid, and I can actually grab a couple of those. I think I have them. A reel handles only vid. I'm not going to get up and grab them, but a reel handles only vid for quite some time, because I've had people ask me all the time when they see like one of my custom handles, is it worth it? Is it a waste of money? Why are you using them? What's it for? So I want to go really in depth on that, because it's not just spending money. You know, I think some people think buying a reel or, you know, adding a handle is like this. And I think for some people it is, you know, like the show of, I don't know, puffing your chest out. Oh, look, I spent this much on a deal. That's not it to me at all. I use everything from $59 reels to, you know, I have splurged and spent $200 on a reel. To me, if it works well and it's got a, you know, like a special spot in the lineup, I don't have a problem spending a little more for something like that. For example, buying an aftermarket reel handle. A lot of the reels now come with kind of smaller handles, and I can't tell you how many times, and maybe it's the way I, you know, set the hook and such, but when I rear back, I don't know how many times within the past few years, I've completely ripped the skin off of my knuckles. And when you bump up to some of these, maybe I'll grab one, but when you bump up to some of the bigger handles and the bigger knobs, you don't have to worry about that at all. It's easier to crank. There's a number of things that I really love about a handle like that. I look for deals. Same thing for a reel. I never, ever, ever, ever pay full price for a reel. Wait for specials, wait for sales, even if it's just 20 bucks. Every little bit helps. So yeah, I guess I don't know where else I was going with that. I saw a couple donations coming in. Fish Daddy, hey, thank you very much, man. If y'all missed his live stream, give Fish Daddy a follow. Fish Daddy 401. Making some killer soft plastics. You're going to see his soft plastics coming up on, actually, it's going to be the next unboxing, I think. I'm trying to remember what order the videos are going to be going in, but I'm going to film that tomorrow. So that should be the Monday video. I've got the casting test video, and then the drunk wanna fight guy. He said some pretty hurtful stuff. I had to actually turn off my GoPro. I didn't know if I was going to be throwing fists, and I'm not for that, right? I'm not for starting a fight, but this dude was a jerk, a straight up jerk. And it was 10 in the morning. He was already completely schnockered. So if that tells you anything. But should be fun times. Fish Daddy, thanks for the donation. I sent him a couple lures. I know he showed those on his stream. He said he really liked them. I had a couple other people said they looked good. So I'm just happy I can do lures and send them out and share with people like him. He's sharing plastics with me. I can share lures with him. That's what the bait making community should be about. Like, there's a weird, almost like cutthroat side to the bait making deal. Like, there were some people I reached out to and asked for help when I was first starting, and there was not even a blink of an eye. They were helping me with stuff. No issue. There were some people I reached out to and were like, figure it out yourself, nerd. So I always kind of chuckle at that stuff. I don't know. You know, there's going to be people like that in everything, but I appreciate the good folks that are out there. Vince Saban with a big donation. Can't wait for the website drop. Dude, thank you so flipping much. Hit me up on Instagram. I've actually got a special present for you for that. I appreciate that a ton. Like I said, I don't ever expect anybody to donate to the stream. I'm lucky to have the community I do. Right now I've got 257 people in here listening to me talk about fishing in my basement. So it blows me away. I never thought I'd be here. I've had a few people say congrats. I'm almost at 100,000. Never thought that would be anywhere close to happening. So it's all because of you guys. Thank you so very freaking much. Where am I at? I'm probably I'm 30 minutes behind on comments. I don't even know. Let me scroll up. I hate it when it does that. Why does it do that? Let's see. I had a couple of people ask about boxes. I just bought some boxes from Bass Pro. I saw they had the pretty colored boxes on sale. I'm going to be doing some, I need to go to the video and pick someone, but I'm going to be doing some tailored giveaways where we're going to go in depth. This is something I actually had planned early last year. I went all last year without doing it. I was kind of against giveaways because I didn't want people just joining my channel for free stuff and leaving. But I've got to where I am. Really, I just started doing them last year, 2 years ago. I'm sorry. 2019 is when I wanted to do this. But I've got to where I am now behind a couple months ago without ever doing a giveaway. So I was like, you know what? Screw it, to heck with it. We're going to start doing some giveaways. And it happened. So I appreciated Tom, but I've actually got, I might go grab one here, some Bass Pro boxes where I'm going to do a tailored giveaway. I'm going to pick a random winner before. I know it's kind of backwards, but I'm picking a random winner before. I'm going to get on Instagram with them, do a video chat, hang out for a little bit, talk fishing with them, and then build a box specifically for them in their area. So let's say I pick someone who says I fish grassy ponds. It's not just going to be one. I think I got like 5 or 6 boxes. So if that series goes over well, I'm going to do it until the boxes are out. But I'm going to fill these cool Bass Pro Shops boxes filled with whatever I think would be good there. I'm going to try to give them tips, you know, kind of behind the scenes and talk through it. And then I'm going to make a video on it saying, these are the lures I picked. Here's why I'd use them. Here's how I'd use them. And then send that box to that subscribe feature friend and hope that they catch some fish on it. That's what I want to do. I want to do that for a couple years and try to help people out. So holy smokes, I just got a huge donation from Ray EB. Ray, $100 for 100K subs. Holy smokes, dude. Ray, is that you, Ray? Talking about a Ray that was with me from the beginning, Social Bass Angler. Somebody who helped me out a ton painting baits, giving me advice, blanks, all kinds of stuff. One of those folks who was not scared to tell me. I don't know, Ray, if that's you or not, or if that's a different Ray, but dang, man, thank you so very much. You guys are too flippin' kind to me tonight. I can't even believe it. Usually when we have Randizzle in here and his handsome face, I feel like I get a lot more donations. I think people probably feel sorry for me. I've got the red marks on my, I was actually painting for like an hour and a half, 2 hours before this. And that mask kind of gets to you after wearing it a while. But Ray, thank you so flippin' much, man. I appreciate that a lot. I really, really do. Try to get to some more questions here. What do we have? Fish Daddy. Oh, Fish Daddy sent you some frogs. It's Big Karen. Yeah, so he's referring to my top videos of last year. So the biggest fish I caught last year was on an Epic Molds frog. I don't know the name of it. Sorry. I don't know if they have multiple frogs, but 6 and something on it. I broke my rod trying to high stick it up like a 5-foot embankment. But dude, that fish crushed it. And it was like the picture perfect, you know, a little bit of scummy grass stuff. And I was, you know, reeling it through. It's like a ploppy leg, soft plastic frog, bringing it through, and that bass hit it. And you saw the tail. And I was just like, oh, set that hook and got it in. Oh man, it was so much fun. Oklahoma's worst angler. Some of the vids he's had on frogs, like, literally make me want to cry. If you want to see somebody catch some giant frogfish, he's a great guy, good dude. I hope to fish with him sometime. If the stupid Ronas wasn't present, I would love to fish with a ton of people, and I would try to travel more. Now that I'm working from home, I've actually lost like 28, almost 30 hours of my vacation because I wasn't using it and we've been busy. So it's like use it or lose it. So I lost like 30 hours of vacation I could have taken. You know, being at home, if the, you know, the girls need to stay home or whatever, I'm here and can work from home. So I've got vacation to spend. So hopefully can get out and fish more this year. It's still hard having a full-time job. I thank you all that stick with me. I'm not full-time in this. Like some people you see, I don't fish full-time. I still work 50 hours a week. I make the videos on the side and I paint baits on the side. So it's kind of a busy hustle, but it keeps me busy. I feel like if I don't have anything to do, I get myself in trouble. So let's see. What do we have? Matt Harvey, Debo Dink Lures. Yes, we'll have some certified dink catchers coming soon. What else? GRMA 98. Grandma, is that Grandma 98? I don't know. That probably stands for something cool. But I'm a new angler. Just started fishing last year. Quarantine angler. There was a bunch of you, and that's awesome seeing folks like that get into it. I was wondering if you had tips on how to fish stock trout. I tried all summer and couldn't catch any. Yeah, so some of the first trout fishing vids I watched was from Realistic Fishing. So check him out. I know he does a bunch of stock trout fishing and stuff. I really didn't know anything about it. I took some of his stuff and used it. He had a really cool video of like a float rig versus a bottom drag rig. My buddy Brady took me fishing for trout the first time, and they were super spooky. These were actual like non-stock trout in the stream, and you couldn't get close to them. You couldn't throw a shadow, but I was doing like a little tiny, I don't know, 1/50th weight on a little like crimp, like egg sinker type deal. with a little trout hook, and then they were Berkeley power bait honey worms, and throwing that in the current and letting it slowly drift down. So that was just a float deal, letting it roll down the current, which I'd never done that for trout. I'd never fished trout. But for me here is a rooster tail. A rooster tail for stocked trout in my area has been better than anything I've ever used. So that's an inline spinner. So you could use whatever your favorite brand is. But for me growing up, I used to throw rooster tails. So that's what I throw still. Chartreuse is great here with a gold blade. So 1/16 ounce, I want to say I threw here. I know a lot of guys will throw like a little jig, a little hair type jig. Some folks will throw like a little jerk bait. I've tried all those. Far and away, the inline spinner has been the best for me. So let's see. What else do we have? Ever use the Plano Z series backpack? No, I've only got 2 backpacks. The Tackle Warehouse backpack, which has been an absolute workhorse. I'm not sponsored by Tackle Warehouse, but I would recommend that to any flipping buddy out there. I had 3 backpacks before that one, and every single one either ripped at the top of the shoulder or down at the bottom where the shoulder strap connects. All of them ripped there, every single one. And then I got like a cheap one on eBay. I don't remember what it was called, Raw Deal. It's like a little sling backpack. And it's been good so far. I haven't used it as much as the Tackle Warehouse, but I guess long answer, no. I've not used the Plano Z series. Sorry, that was long-winded. Am I going to start making my own soft plastics? Nope, I don't plan on it. That's a whole different venture. I don't have the ventilation for it. I do most of my stuff here in the basement. I've got a little ventilation deal, and then I wear a mask. But man, that plastic, like when you're heating it up in the microwave and stuff, it's pretty rough. It can smoke up and clot up a place. So let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. I've driven by the Do It Factory, Pima 623. Cool. I've never driven by it. On my way up to Randizzle's house, he's only like, I think 15 minutes from it. So I'm super excited to go up there and see the factory. Really nice people. I've had a few talks with them, but I don't know. We'll see. It's fun stuff. Let's see. Show the lure that you painted. Debo on the sides. Jim Magnuson. The Debo craw. Hold on, I'll get one. I actually just painted 4. I'll be right back. I'll grab those handles too. Okay. Sorry. Jumping back and forth here. What did I miss? Oh my gosh, we got more donations coming in. You guys are too freaking kind. Good Lord. What do we have here? Danger Monkey. Okay. Thanks, Devin. I started bass fishing only about 18 months ago. Your channel has been incredibly helpful, and you're so obviously just a terrific, nice person. Keep them coming. Say hi to Randy. Well, Mr. Monkey, I try to be nice to folks who are nice to me. I was definitely not nice today to that gentleman on the ice. I said some words that would probably have my great-grandparents rolling over in their graves, but you'll see why when I drop that video. But Mr. Danger Monkey, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that a lot. Who else? Matt Erickson, a regular on my channel. Matt, thank you very much, man. Here's for always great videos and streams. We truly appreciate it. Dude, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so flipping much tonight. I can't believe the donations. You guys are too kind, but let's see. Who was it that asked? I'm sorry, I want to call your name because somebody asked. I don't know. I just said it. Oh, Jim. So he asked to see the lure. So this is the Debo craw. I cut a little stencil, and I need to find somebody that does like a 3D printed stencil. The color here, it definitely doesn't do it justice, but it's like a brownish cream up top. Then I've got a chartreuse on the bottom. I even signed this one, did some of the craw deals, and Debo on both sides. But I need to get like a nice hard stencil so that way these come out the exact same every time. But you can see it says Debo there, and I got it in the craw pattern. But just a fun deal for me. I was just messing around with ideas on some paper in my downtime. But I did that one like a cream and chartreuse. I did an orangish top with a silver belly. I did the one that was in like a green a greenish blue spots and then like a baby blue bottom. And then one that was like a silverish gray brown top into a chartreuse belly. The lights here are so bright it kind of messes with the colors, but just a ton of fun. I'm definitely not the world's best painter, but it's a ton of fun to do in my downtime. I really enjoy it, just kind of creating. And then, okay, so the handles. So spool speed. Good guys over there. Like I said, Scott's a great guy, but a much larger handle. I think theirs is like 105 millimeters. Does it say? I don't know. 100 millimeter maybe. And then Gomexus is the other one. I've actually picked up a couple of theirs. Watch for sales on Amazon. I got a couple of these on sale. They're a little bit more expensive. Both of these I think retail for like $49, I want to say. But I've got deals on these where they're like $10 cheaper. And then Scott had a deal where you could get 20 or 25% off on the spool speed stuff. So look for deals. Like I said, I never pay full price, but a much larger handle. Like if you look at the handle on this compared to this one, you can see there a much larger handle, a longer handle. And the thing that's so nice to me is the actual knob itself is longer this way. Sorry, I still have paint on my hands and stuff, but larger knobs. So they're nice. I love them. Do you need them? No, by any means, no, you do not need them. Like I said, for $30, you know, you buy 2 of those, and for some people, that's a whole new reel, $60. So if you're a beginner out there, don't worry about all that stuff. As you get into it, you might find you like one, but the biggest thing as a beginner is get out there and fish. I can't say it enough. Go fishing. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Do you want to know what bass lure you can use for peacock bass? I have no clue. I've never fished for peacock bass. If it's peacock bass that I see on Instagram where the guys are doing the psh, 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 and like throwing it kind of in the shallows and bringing it back, whatever those fish are that just destroy it. I just saw one today. If those are peacock bass, I want to go peacock bass fishing. That looks so dang fun. Ray, who donated. Thank you very much, Ray. What do you think of the new Daiwa Zillion? I actually don't own any Daiwa Zillions. I had somebody who showed me a deal on, what was it? I don't remember what one it is I ordered. I'm looking on my phone now. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys. But I actually ordered one and got a pretty sweet deal on, where is it? I don't remember the site I ordered from. Tackle something. It was a site I had never ordered from before. They sent me like 75 emails. The new Daiwa. Why did they send me 35 emails? Oh, it is the new Daiwa Zillion SV. It's an expensive reel, but I had somebody get me the hookup on one. They're pre-order right now, so I actually should have one. I think they said within the next month or so. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. I don't know who all has their hands on some now. I know Tackle Advisors gets his hands on some stuff early. He's got a great channel for tearing down reels, looking at all of them, showing you the insides and outs. I've talked to him a couple times, but he does a great job on that. I know the Reel Test has a ton of reels. Those guys might already have one. Maybe they've done a video on it, but I've never had that high priced of a reel. I got one of the Shimano MGLs or Metanium MGLs for a really good price, but I actually paid less for that MGL than I did for this. So, you know, just grabbing a couple of the higher priced reels to test out. You know, it kind of bugs me when there's some people that say you don't need high price stuff. I've never spent over $60 on a reel, but they've never tried anything over $60 to compare it to. So for me, I've kind of always said $100 is like the best bang for your buck. Once you go up from there, it's kind of diminishing returns on what you're really getting for your investment. You know, it might be the same as $100 reel, but it's got wind knobs. Those are expensive to put on a reel. It might have like a line dial indicator where you can mark your line. It might have different deal, you know, whatever it is. A lot of times you're just paying for special features. So I have gotten a couple higher price reels just so I can do some of those comparisons. I talk to you guys in an educated manner and tell you, okay, look, I actually have you know, a little bit higher priced reel. Here's how it compares and here's why. So, and I just am kind of a gear junkie and I like trying stuff. So let's see. You should try out some silent square bills. Alejandro. I do have silent square bills. I use them. Silent square bills are great, especially if you're following or on a lake where you know there's people who fish square bills a lot. Me and Dad, actually, that was, I want to say 2 years ago, we're fishing riprap right behind some guys, and I was throwing a silent square bill and had luck. And also Randizzle and I were out on my birthday. I think that was also 2 years ago, or right before my birthday. And I had amazing luck on a white bass colored silent Lucky Craft square bill. I mean, we actually just fished a point right after people had just left it. And I destroyed it. I caught, I don't know how many. Randizzle was having troubles over there just getting his little lure tied on. But I was catching them and I was throwing a silent square bill. But it's okay. He's kicked my butt throwing a finesse jig before where I've literally wanted to break all my rods in half and quit fishing. He's beat me that bad sometimes. So we kind of go back and forth. Let's see. What else do we have for questions? Milo MR, Milo Mister. I got a crankbait rod, medium heavy, moderate fast, 7.4. Can I use it for other lures? So are you asking, can you use a crankbait rod for lures other than crankbaits? Absolutely. I know a lot of guys kind of find, I feel like, two different areas of chatterbait anglers. You have the guys that'll just fish it on like a regular medium heavy fast or like a heavy fast. And then you have the guys that are diehard, like fishing it on more of a moderate fast cranking rod. What's his name? I can't believe I just blanked on it. He has Brett Height is a huge proponent of using more of like a moderate fast chatterbait rod. And I know there's other guys out there that are the same way. I've used both. I like both. I can't say there's a right or wrong. So find what you like. But yeah, don't be afraid to even try like jigs. I know a lot of guys who like more of a moderate fast rod for jigs specifically because you can feel the jig bite. You can wait for the bite. You can reel down on it and set that hook hard. And once you've got them pinned, you've got that good parabolic action of a moderate fast rod to keep those fish pinned. One of the advantages to like an extra fast rod, meaning it doesn't have very much tip bend, it's pretty stiff, is that if you're bringing it over rocks and popping it over rocks, it's so much easier to do that because it doesn't feel spongy. Like if you have a real soft rod, it'll kind of absorb those rocks and it'll almost get caught more where you have to pop it free. A real fast rod won't do that, but once you get a fish hooked, it doesn't have that big bend in it to keep that fish pinned. So I know some people that will say they swear by a jig rod like that. So yeah, test stuff out, find what you like. There's not a wrong or right way to fish, especially when you get into combos. Ranger 374, a regular to my channel. Thank you very much for stopping in, man. Hello, how are you? I'd say rod over reel. I'm guessing somebody probably asked the question, would you spend more money on the rod or the reel in a combo? And I'm always going rod as long as you have a decent reel. So some of the real, like cheap, inexpensive reels, if you go and get like, somebody was just talking to me the other day about, I went cheap on a Baitcaster and it ruined my expectations. They bought like a Shakespeare Baitcaster at Walmart. There's nothing wrong with Shakespeare. I know, people swear by those rods and stuff, but a reel that you can't tune in and is always backlashing, it's not consistent, is going to be more of a headache than it's worth. So as long as you have a decent reel, rod by far is worth more, especially on something where you need to feel the bite, jig bites, Texas rig bites. All my finesse fishing, I always swear by a more expensive spinning reel, Ned rig, drop shot. Things like topwater, a topwater walking bait, topwater frogging. You definitely don't need an expensive rod for that because you're visually seeing the bites, right? You don't need to feel that bite. I've used $50, what was the Abu Garcia Vendetta or Vengeance, whatever that rod is. I used that for a while. Last year I went with the Lose, what is it, the Speed Stick, the black and like greenish colored one. The SLX rod I've used, which is like a $99 rod that I got for 50% off at Shields. I'm telling you guys, never pay full price. But yeah, you don't need an expensive rod for topwater. Let's see. What else do we have? Do you see an Iowa guy caught the biggest Texas bass so far? 16.4 pounds? What? Why didn't he invite me down on that trip? I want to go to Texas and catch it. My dream is to catch a double digit. I know that's kind of everybody's dream. So I need to get down there once. I would love to go to Texas and fish. You know, obviously, every single post you look at now is Milliken and those guys going down and just ripping apart bass that were huge and, you know, the biggest bag on YouTube or whatever. Dude, I couldn't imagine a day like that. Even catching one 10-pounder, and those guys caught multiple 10-pounders in a day. I read a statistic on, like, I don't know, I'm going to butcher it. 1 in every 3 million bass grow to be a 10-pounder. So you have, like, you know, a 1 in a 3 million chance of catching one, something like that. And those guys caught multiple 10-pounders in a day. Like, it's crazy to think how much, you know, you have to have the right genetics. You have to have a lake that houses more than one 10-pounder. You know, all the lakes around here a 6-pounder might be the biggest bass in the lake. So crazy, dude. I couldn't even imagine catching a 16-pound bass. That's 9 pounds more than my PB. I couldn't imagine that. Like a 7-pounder is my PB here in Iowa. Couldn't imagine. Let's see. Rod over reel. I guess people are talking about that. I bought a couple old Bill Dance soft plastics, and it said they're like 50 years old. Jacob W. That's sweet. Bill Dance is one of my idols. You can see his hat back there. I have a signed Bill Dance hat right there by my thumb. And that was from an awesome subscribe fishing friend who sent that in. Can you believe that? Somebody that liked my channel that much. I actually cried when I opened that up because of the story that went with it. But super cool. Love Bill Dance. Maybe for 100,000 subscribers, I'll see if I can get Bill Dance to I don't think I could get him to do a live with me or a video, but maybe I could do like a video chat and have him answer like 3 questions and take up like 15 minutes of his time. That could be like my 100,000 deal. Maybe for 100,000, I'll like reach out to as many people as I can and ask a question and have a fun video. I don't know. Let me know. I know a lot of people are like, let's do a giveaway, but dude, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine getting to talk to Bill Dance and stuff like that. I met him at a Bassmaster Classic, but you know, on like a video, that'd be the ultimate awesomeness. Rich said the Zark. Oh yeah, that's Milliken's buddy. Did the Zark catch a 16-pounder down there? I don't know. I haven't watched any of the videos and such, but is the Zark from Iowa? I don't know. Let's see. Yep, use Dick Rewards. I'm assuming to get discounts. Yes. Let's see. What else? Thoughts on Daiwa. Quinn Larkin said thoughts on Daiwa. Daiwa is garbage. I'm kidding. Daiwa is awesome. They make awesome reels. The Daiwa Fuego is one of my favorite at $100. The Daiwa Tatula 100 is an awesome light lure reel. And a lot of people say if you can go just over 100, the Daiwa Tatula CT is one of the best workhorse reels out there. I've actually got the CT on the Zark special MF or rod right there behind me. You can't see it, but yeah, the Tatula CT is sweet. They make a ton of good reels. And really most companies out there now make good reels. You know, I mean, it's not like the older days where there was like a very clear divide on a couple, you know, reel manufacturers and the rest were kind of lagging behind. Everybody nowadays makes good reels. And, you know, a lot of them, you know, Lew's, Bass Pro Shops, who else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Abu Garcia, Fluger. A lot of those are made in the same factory anyway, you know, so it's a lot of the same stuff. You know, obviously they have different standards as far as, can't even think of the word right now. Like as far as like quality checkpoints and stuff. I know they have different deals on that, but yeah, a lot of them are Doyo, Banex, a lot of the same, you know, places are making those. So, but yeah, absolutely. Daiwa was a great company. Let's see. Matt Harvey said, I can't stop buying cheap Cream soft plastics at Walmart. Absolutely. Yeah. Cream makes some great lures still. They're one of the old OG soft plastic makers. John Welsh, Debo, question. Are you in with any of the box bag companies? Thanks again for the Hornet starter jacket. It's glorious. So John Welsh is a nice guy who gave me the idea of doing a Hornets starter jacket craw lure. So I painted up the prototype and sent it to him. He said he liked it. But, you know, those old, like, Charlotte Hornet starter jackets that everybody seemed to have back in the 90s? I painted up one that color. Turned out pretty cool. Am I in with any of the bag box companies? Nope, not at all. So I think he's talking about like Mystery Tackle Box, MTB, 6 Sense. I'm not in with any of them. I had LTB like probably 5 years ago, and it was kind of hit or miss. I liked some of the stuff, and it was cool for trying new stuff. I mean, I'm not opposed to the box and bag stuff. I've talked to Monster Bass a couple times. Obviously, you know, Alex Rudd is in with them. They were nice enough to send me some of the Rudd crankbaits. So I think it's a cool idea. You know, if you want to try new lures, you definitely get stuff that you oftentimes would never try. But for me, you know, I just stopped doing it. I've obviously got enough tackle. So as a beginner to get stuff, you know, that fun of just, you know, waiting for your box to be there, I get the appeal behind it. So, but no, I don't have sponsorships or anything with those guys. Horizons said, is a Shimano SLX worth it for a budget angler, super budget angler? Absolutely. The Shimano SLX, and I'm kind of disappointed because the video that Rand Dizzle and I just filmed was with a 1/4 ounce lure, so a little bit lighter lure on more budgety type reels, so like $50 reels up to $99. And I think actually the SLX might have performed at the bottom. The SLX was the first reel that I used, and I had a headwind coming at me when we first started. The video took like, I don't know, probably 3 hours to film. I had to end up going to get my girls from school. I would have put money that the SLX would have been like the top 1 or 2 because I've used it for light lures, little 1/4 ounce lures. I've even used it for a little 1/8 ounce jig head with a little like 2.5 inch or whatever it is, 2.8 inch Kitech. And it's casted that. And usually I don't, in like anything 1/8 of an ounce, I'm just going to a spinning rod. But I was out in the canoe with a buddy that's been, I don't know, Alan, my buddy Alan, 3 years ago by now, probably. And I was casting that around and it did well. You know, as long as you were kind of lobbing it. Light lures are kind of tough, but 1/4 ounce lures, we did that casting test, and I think the SLX might have been kind of lagging behind, but I think it was that headwind. But long answer is yes, the SLX is a great reel. I highly recommend it for beginners. It does have internal centrifugal brakes, so I know that is a little bit harder to dial in than like external magnetic brakes. So a lot of the brakes that you're going to see on the reels are like this, where you adjust it from the outside, right? It's got an outside dial. I can get that to focus. I don't know, but you can see the dial there. So I know a lot of people like that. The internal brakes are a little bit more of a pain to mess with because you have to open up the side plate and adjust the brakes on it, but SLX is a great reel. What are we at for time? Good Lord, we're already at 52 minutes. Another donation came in. Jeff Stanley. Jeff, thanks for the donation. Ice just melted off the ponds. Any tips or lures for super early spring bassing? Yes, go slow. One of my mistakes starting out when the ice leaves, obviously you're excited to go out and fish, is going out and fishing too fast. So I remember, I think that was 2019. I fished one of my local ponds, and I've given this tip before. If you're, roaring and ready to get out and fish, everything's iced over, look at some of the small ponds. Those are going to free up sooner than your bigger lakes and such. So go out and do some small pond fishing, but slow down. So I'm talking about like a suspending jerk bait. If it's deep enough, you can get away with it. A finesse jig. I was using the Z-Man micro jig finesse shrooms, whatever it's called. It's like a little tiny micro jig with a little, what do they call it? TRD craws trailer. So they're little tiny craw. It's like a Ned craw. I was using that and that was my first trip of the year that year. And I caught like a 4.5 pounder on that. And then as the water starts to warm up a little bit, last year I actually got out with my buddy Nate. And I was throwing a red lipless. Obviously red does well in the spring. I don't know if Hello Bass is still on. He just put out a video on that. I haven't got to watch it yet. I'm sorry, man. But red is great in the spring. I never bought into it. It truly does work. But I was throwing a red lipless, yo-yoing it. Rand Dizzle and I also had a great day last year. Yo-yoing red lipless, but throwing your lipless out and instead of just burning it back by yo-yoing it, what I mean is you cast it out and then pop it up and then let it sink. So it'll vibrate up and then you just let it flutter down, and it'll kind of do its own thing. Pop it up, let it flutter down, and 9 times out of 10, they're always going to hit it on that kind of fluttery drop. And then when you go to pop it up again, you're going to feel weight. So yo-yoing a lipless, finesse jigs. You could also go with a Ned rig. I used to fish a Ned rig a ton in the spring. But going slow, you've got to remember that water is still cold, you know, around here, the frozen lakes and stuff. I'm at like 41, 42 degree water. So you're still going to be in the really, you know, mid to low 40s with water temps. So go slow. And then as that water temp starts to move up, you can go to some of the other things and start throwing, you know, chatterbaits and spinnerbaits is a little bit later spring lure for me. So go slow. Remember, it's not about the air temp. You might have days where it's 65 degrees up, but the water temp's still, you know, 48 degrees. So keep that in mind. Hey, my guy, Greg Hinton. Greg, hit me up on Instagram. I actually have a present for you as well. I know your buddy was talking to me about some stuff. I have a present for you. Hit me up. Let's see. Rivers free up sooner also. Yes, David Ehlers. That's Brent Ehlers' brother. I'm kidding. I don't know. Rivers. So anytime you've got running water is always going to free up faster than just still stagnant. You know, if you have like a little man-made pond or lake, anytime there's water running through, those are going to free up quicker. Let's see. I'm probably way behind on comments. I'm sorry, guys. What do we have? Fishing the Southeast. Shout it out at DEBO'S Fishing. Any tips for very small fishing YouTubers under 500 subs? Yeah, I get this question from people a lot. So the biggest things I can tell you, one is be consistent. I see too many new channels starting out and they'll do like a video every month. Man, you know, YouTube is like a fair weather fan type deal. The more videos you can put out, the more content you can put out, as long as it's good content that you're happy with and that you believe in, you're going to get people that much faster. You know, if you're only doing one video a month, it's kind of like fishing. If you only go fishing once a month, you've got one chance to hit a home run as opposed to fishing 4 times a week. You know, if you're putting out 2-3 videos a week, you know, you're going to get your name and your channel out there. So be consistent. And number 2 is do videos that you are happy with and that you believe in. Don't try to copy other channels. Do stuff that you like because that's going to show through to your subscriber base. So do what's true to you, have fun with it, and be consistent. Let's see. What else do we have? Theo Solomon. Would a War Eagle finesse jig work for early spring? Ask Randizzle about that. Yes. A War Eagle finesse jig is his favorite jig. That dude's outfished me 10-to-1 multiple times on that exact jig, a War Eagle heavy finesse jig, 3/8 ounce. So yes, they will catch you lots of fish. Ian Martin says, Debo, how many rods do you currently own? Actually, he said, how many rods do you currently own, comma, Debo. Good punctuation and grammar. I don't know, probably like 10, I would say. More than that, but it doesn't matter. What else do we have? Sam Bloomer. I started with a chatterbait as search bait, but ended up on a TRD craw Ned. So that TRD Ned craw I was talking about to actually catch him 3 days ago. That's interesting, Sam. What are your water temps? I know a lot of guys throw the chatterbait earlier spring. So I'm old school. I grew up fishing a spinnerbait. I'm still diehard spinnerbait. Early spring, I would go to a spinnerbait 9 times out of 10 over a chatterbait just because it's my confidence deal. But I know a lot of guys, you know, with the increased, you know, popularity in chatterbaits that throw chatterbaits early spring too and have a ton of luck. So yeah, I mean, the red chatterbait in spring is something I actually bought a couple of the regular, a couple of the elite, and I want to say one jackhammer I think I could find just to try and test those and fish them. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few people who throw red chatterbaits during the spring, so something to try. I did see a couple people say go Hawks. Yes, absolutely go Hawks. I happen to have a Hawk shirt on tonight. My Hawks play tomorrow basketball. Luka Garza is an absolute stud. I'm hoping they can win the Big Ten championship. We'll see. They also do have a good wrestling team this year. Let's see. Jordan Reiner. Do rattle traps work for the yo-yo retrieve? Absolutely they work. Rattle traps, I've used the Cotton Cordell Super Spot if you want to like a cheap option. Those are actually, just grab some of those. They had red lipless Cotton Cordell Super Spots in the clearance bin for $1.99. I bought, I think 4 of them was all they had in there. But your Strike King Red Eye Shad, the Bill Lewis Rattle Traps, Cotton Cordell Super Spots. What am I forgetting? Those are the big ones I throw. The Berkeley War Pig. I think I couldn't remember that last stream, but the Berkeley War Pig. I got a bunch of those on sale when Gander went out. I like those. I know my buddy Brady, that's one of his favorite lures, that lipless. I think that's it off the top of my head. But yeah, any of those you can yo-yo. Sycamore said, I can remember ripping a sluggo back between ice super fast because my cast was off and I inhaled. Dude, the sluggo, somebody just reminded me what I don't even remember who made the sluggo. Somebody, a subscriber, sent me some lures. Was it Lunker City that made those? And they're like, oh, they're the same company that made the sluggo. I didn't even remember that. I just remember the sluggo. I did have a bunch of them. I actually sold a box, and I'm really bummed, of old lures when I was trying to gear up, and I got rid of a bunch of my old stuff. I was an idiot for doing because I had like a bunch of the old Berkeley Tequila Sunrise Worms, some old hard baits, some of the old original Banjo Minnows, and a couple packs of sluggos in there. I remember I sold them to somebody for like $20 for a whole huge box of stuff. But I was trying to replace and, get into some of the newer fishing gear, rods and reels and stuff. But yeah, sluggos were like the Senko before Senkos, right? Soft jerk bait / Senko deal. Let's see. Andrew Heath, Debo, can you do open crappie fishing this year? Yeah, I can do some of that. It's been probably 3 years ago. I was doing some, throwing one of the little, speaking about Bill Lewis rattle traps, one of the little, I don't know, what are they, 1.5 inches? Those little tiny ones, fishing for some crappie. That was actually fall fishing though. I had a day, I don't know, I caught probably 15 of them. It's fun. Crappie fishing is fun on like a little, medium light spinning rod. They're fun to catch. And actually my dad's friend has caught like 18-inch crappie around here. That's like almost 2 pounds. I couldn't imagine catching a 2-pound crappie, but I've never caught one that big. Team Best Korea. Do you ever use an umbrella rig? If you can give me a rundown of what you do with them. I'm not a big umbrella rig guy. Go look up my guy Bass Geek. He throws an umbrella rig a lot. I actually threw my first umbrella rig last year, the Yum, the Flash Mob Junior, the smaller size. I'm not an umbrella rig guy. I want to throw them some more. Bass Geek's like, just think of him as a big spinnerbait. I'm like, oh, well, that makes it all the easier, but I don't throw them. I'd rather just go to a spinnerbait. Let's see. What else? Matt Harvey, Debo or Dizzle, what's your opinion on the Berkeley Vanish line? I'm not a fan of the Berkeley Vanish line. I've had breakoff issues with it, so I'm not a fan. Oh, I just skipped forward. Why does it do that? I've got multiple at Debo. What are we at? An hour. Oh, we've still got time. We've still got what? 278 people in here on a Saturday night. Thank you guys so much. My guy Neil dropped a donation. Thank you very much, Neil. I appreciate you. Paint job's looking good, Debo. Thank you, man. I've actually got a couple baits heading your way. He's a big supporter of the channel. And like I said, Ray, I don't know if that's the same Ray that I know from painting. If that's a different Ray, if you have a different YouTube channel, hit me up on Instagram. I've got a present for you. Let's see. What else do we have? Dizzle answered. I answered that one. Fishing the Southeast. I post 2 videos a week, and I have a Canon M50 good mic. Okay, so you were asking about the videos. Yep. Keep doing your videos, man. Have fun with it. That's the biggest thing, is have fun. You see so many of these creators out there, it's like they're just struggling to put stuff out there, and it's like, don't look for views. It's not going to happen overnight. If you think YouTube success is going to happen overnight, unless you're part of the 0.0001%, it's not going to happen overnight. YouTube is not a quick fix deal. Clayton and Layden says, how long does it take for a fingerling bass to grow up to full size? I just stocked my pond this spring. I live in Tennessee. That depends on a ton of things. I would look up the aquatic biologist and maybe even ask him that question. The aquatic biologist, Shan, as my guy Burley calls him, Shan the Man O'Gorman. But he's a super knowledgeable guy about all that. It's going to depend on competition in the lake or pond that you've got. So do you have crappie in there? I know that's like a huge no-no if you're trying to get bass bigger. Don't stock bass or stock crappie, I guess, adversely in a pond where you're trying to grow bass. But I think on average, they say a bass in its first year, like a good average is like a pound, I want to say, if I remember correctly. And then after that, depending on the food, like a half a pound a year. Just kind of average, if I remember correctly. But it's going to depend on how much of a food source that they have, how much competition there is, because bass won't stop growing. They don't, it's not like I put them in a pond this size and it's only going to grow to this amount. And Randy and I can attest to that. I was in a tiny pond, caught a huge bass. We didn't weigh it. I don't know how big it was, but as long as you have consistent food coming in, there's not a ton of competition. I mean, you can grow a huge bass. So I would say, and I think kind of what I've read is stock bluegill as far as the food source, because bluegill are going to, especially if you're in Tennessee, I would think maybe there's a chance for them to spawn twice. But I know like in the southern spots, bluegill will spawn twice, as opposed to like shad. People kind of take DNR and fish stocking into their own hands, and they'll stock lakes with shad. Well, shad only spawn once a year, most of them, like around here, and they get to be huge. So you've got shad that are too big for the bass to eat. They're only spawning once a year, so those bass have like a window to eat them, depending on their size. So I don't know. I'm not a fisheries guy. I would look around you for. There's people that's their full-time job is to do pond and lake stocking, and I can't even think of the word for it. Consultation for people. So I would look up somebody in your area and talk to them. I'm not a expert on that. Fishing with Gramps, you're a supporter. I see you in here all the time. Thank you very much, man. Spinnerbait with Colorado blade very early. Yep. Then double willow once it warms up a bit. Chatterbait. Yeah. So kind of the deal behind that is as spring comes through, depending on if you're on a pond or lake that's river fed, you're going to get a lot of that runoff, snow melt, ice melt, and you're going to have muddier conditions. So a lot of guys, when they're fishing colder water, really muddy water, you're going to go to a big Colorado blade because it's got more of a thump, a vibration to it. And those fish are generally going to be up shallower. So, if you've got like a bridge overpass and rocks where it's like sandy, then under that bridge, usually where they make the pilings, it's all going to be rock. I know that's a spot to target them. And that cold, muddy water, Colorado blade. As it warms up, and especially in your shad lakes, willow blades mimic shad really well. And actually, Alex Rudd was talking about the difference between a Colorado blade and willow blades mimicking the different sounds and vibrations of like bluegill versus shad. I've never gotten into that. I've always kind of gone by how much vibration and, flash are you looking for. But yeah, like a big Colorado blade in that muddy water, cold muddy water is big. Let's see. Okay, Nathan Hovey. What lures are best for deep open water? Don't believe there's much on the bottom as people mostly water ski in the lake. He says he's only getting dinks. So I'm not a big open water, deep water fishing guy. Again, I would look up Bass Geek. He does a ton of that, ledge fishing and such. We have places like that around here where I could do that, but I honestly don't have any fancy electronics. I actually just got, what is that, the Lowrance Hook 2 or something to put on my John boat this year. And that's one of my goals is to fish offshore more, ledges, deeper stuff, because, like my old man, he's got some kind of, regular electronics on it where we can see depth and stuff, but no side imaging, no live scope, none of that. I never grew up with that. So, we might know where a road bed is and we can map it out with the depth and stuff, but it's just nothing I've ever grown up with. So I know swim baits on ledges are a big deal. I would look up him, honestly. I'd look up my guy Bass Geek. He does a ton of that stuff. So Alejandro says, chatterbait's my confidence bait. Man, chatterbait is a confidence bait for a lot of people. Hey, my guy Chris Russ, you should have a cross-eyes chatterbait in your P.O. box now. He was sending me some of the Z-Man cross-eyes chatterbaits to try out. Thank you very much, Chris. I will go check that tomorrow. I'm excited to try those. Reno Walser says, what is a great rod for the Ned rig under $100? Man, so again, I would say look for deals. Try to get the most sensitive rod you can for the money. As far as $100 for like a spinning rod, I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to go out and look for deals and such. But, I mean, there's a ton of good deals. Right now, you're probably going to be, as we transition over to ice fishing, over into spring fishing, I know like Bass Pro Shops, they usually have like a spring fishing big sale thing. A lot of people have those sales because they want to get people, back in buying the, the open water regular fishing stuff. So keep an eye out for deals. Probably find some of those soon. Let's see. Cross-eyed jig. And a couple people talking about that. Fishing with Graham saying he just got a bunch of the red chatterbaits along with some of the cross-eyes. Yeah, those have the weed guard on it. I'm excited to try those. Mark Ice says, Deba, have you seen the new Z-Man Pro Craws? Bigger version of the Ned Craw. Caught my first bass of 2020 on a 3.5 pounder. Dang, good job, Mark. I think Rand Dizzle has some of those and showed me. But yeah, they're the bigger, instead of the Ned TRD Craws, they're like the bigger, I don't even know how big they are. 3.5 inch, 4 inches maybe. They're like TRD Craws on steroids. I don't have any yet. I'd like to try some though. Fernando Herrera said, I'm a new subscriber. Your tips have helped me a lot. Well, Fernando, the pleasure is all mine. I'm glad I could help out, man. Let's see. Jared Alfred, if I had an admin, I'd have him block him right now. He just said, go Michigan Big Ten champs. I sure as heck hope not. Let's see. Fishing the Southeast. Debo, if you had one lure to fish with forever, what lure would it be? That's tough. If I'm going on like my all-time confidence bait, it's a spinner bait for sure. If I'm going on the bait now that's my favorite to fish, and probably the past like 5 years my favorite to fish, hollow body frog. I would throw a frog all day, every day if I could. But I mean, the first like bait that I threw the most and had the most confidence in was a spinner bait. Let's see what else. I have people saying good questions. Hoosiers, Wisconsin here. Douglas Vanderveer, Wisconsin here. How is ice? Oh, I thought you were going to go into. I'm sorry. I saw Wisconsin and Iowa. He asked me how the ice was. I was presuming he was going to say Wisconsin's going to beat Iowa tomorrow. We just went out today. Me, Dad, and Rand Dizzle went out, and we still had like 12 inches of ice. So it's still pretty thick, but I'm hoping it's gone soon, within like next week, because I'm tired of it. What else do we have? I did see some good questions down here before it skipped all ahead. Let's go back up. Jeff dropped a donation. Jeff Lar, I hope I said that right. Thank you and Fishing Grams for all of your help in answering our questions. You have been a great help on making my fishing skills get better. Dude, I'm happy to help whenever I can. Like I always say, I'm no pro, but I'm never afraid to tell you what I know and try to help out when I can. Let's see. I have people say to fish in the Southeast. Said a very small jerkbait Lucky Craft makes some good ones. Yeah, cold water, like dropping down to a smaller jerkbait. I had the Lucky Craft pointer. Did they make a 90? I want to say one of the smaller suspending Lucky Craft jerkbaits is great. It's only got the 2 hooks on it, but a suspending jerkbait is great in the colder water because literally you do like a pop, 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 and that the jerkbait will cut, and then pause there. That's what it means for suspending. It'll just sit there and hang in the water column, as opposed to a floating jerkbait that's going to go up, or a sinking jerkbait that's going to continually sink. In the cold water like that, a suspending jerkbait that just stops on a dime and sits there is huge. And not moving that jerkbait once you pop, pop, pop and stop it, not accidentally reeling it with your reel or anything, leaving it there is big. Let's see. Have you guys tried out the Shimano Vanford? I have not tried out that. That's a spinning reel. I want to say new last year. Looks sweet, but I've not tried it. What else? Carpet gym. I don't know. What are you talking about there, Dizzle? Man, that is awesome. Not much better than a garage gym. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I missed that. Okay, Justin Harris. When is the best time to buy tackle on sale? What sites do you recommend buying from? Well, there's the big sites that everybody knows about. I get like a Bass Pro Shops advertiser. Watch for the sales on there. Actually, a couple of my subscribed fishing friends just sent a thing saying, hey, I saw this and this on sale at Bass Pro Shops. A while back, they had like the Seagar Red Label on sale. I don't remember what else they had on sale. Somebody was messaging me about it, but look for those sales. Of course, watch for the Tackle Warehouse sales. Usually they have sales on like the big holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I forget what else, but otherwise just look like at local stuff. So like we have Shields here in Iowa, Gander Outdoors. Just kind of pay attention to their stuff and watch for sales. Fleet Farm, actually, I think it's more of a Midwest / Wisconsin, Minnesota deal, but I got my 13 fishing, like the green Fate black rods. You probably can't see them back there, but oh yeah, you can see one right there, right there. They had those 50% off. Shields had the SLX rods 50% off. So just keep an eye on that stuff. I don't know that there's necessarily a best time. Like I said, there's going to be sales now going into spring for like what's Bass Pro call it? The spring fishing, whatever. Then they always have one over the Bassmaster Classic, like the classic sales. So watch out for those. What else? What is an Indiana blade? I don't have my spinnerbaits over here with me. An Indiana blade is like an oblong oval. It's like a mix between a Colorado and a willow blade. Then you've got different, like you've got, what is this, the name of that one? It's like something turtle shell blade. Rand Dizzle showed them to me first. I didn't know that's what they were called, but they're like in an ovalish shape and they're like bent up in the middle. So there's a few different types out there, but like your Indiana, almost like a teardrop shape, Colorado, willow, those are like the big ones. Another donation rolled in from Kevin Harris. Kevin, thank you very much, man. Thanks for all the great advice and the forum. Dude, the pleasure's all mine. I love talking fishing anytime I can. It's just an added bonus that I have you all to talk to about it. So what else? Oh, yeah. David Ehlers says Ben Nowak does a lot of open water fishing on Erie. I hope to have Ben on sometime soon. If I can figure out how to have guests, I can't have anybody on now, damn it. But I want to get Ben on. I want to get Alex Rudd on. Epic Eric, I want to get on. I want to get Baxter the Baitman on. A bunch of people, good people that have had me on their shows. I want to get them on mine. I wish I had more time to do this, you know. Having a full-time job kind of puts a crimp in fishing. What else? Let's see. We're at an hour 18. We've still got 257 good people in here watching, listening to me talk about fishing. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Parabellum Fishing said Shimano Claris rod. Great rod for finesse rig type fishing, in my opinion. I have a Claris. You're going to see a review on that. It's the casting version, though, not spinning. Kevin Harris says, I believe the Bass Pro Shops is coming March 11th. I'm guessing the sale coming for that. That sounds right. I think that's what it says in my circular. What else? Karsten Kirschner said, D-Bar, are you going to get the new Black Max when it comes out? Are they releasing a new Abu Garcia Black Max? That's, of course, like one of the best, budget reels out there that people talk about. You know, they're kind of built like a tank. They keep working. They're not the most refined, but they keep ticking, you know, and as a beginner, that's what you want, something that's going to keep working. So I wonder if it's the one at Walmart. Actually, I was just at Walmart buying some lures and line for some of those casting tests, and I saw they had a Black Max with like red handles, like red rubber handles. I don't know if that's it or not, but it was kind of interesting. It caught my eye. I was looking at it. Andrew, oh, and it just skipped to the bottom. Why do you do this to me? I was going to say Andrew Heath asked something. Oh, here we go. Andrew Heath, Dizzle. Oh, he was asking Dizzle. I'm sure Dizzle's already answered it. What color should I use for a War Eagle jig in clear water? I would say green pumpkin or like a watermelonish color. I don't know if Rain Dizzle answered, but those are kind of my natural colors in clear water. Creekwood adjacent. Debo, I need some help. I just oiled and greased my Shimano SLX, and now every time I press the button to let line out, it won't allow the line to spool out without me pulling on it a bit. I don't know. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll try to help you out. I'm actually going to do a live sometime of me just taking a reel, pulling it apart. Maybe I'll do the Abu Garcia Revo X. That's a pretty simple, pretty standard looking reel that most people are going to see. And mine is filthy. It's actually been, I didn't clean it last year, and I frogged with it, and it's gross. I know it needs to be cleaned. So maybe I'll do that on a live just like this. I'll get the camera and everything set up on my cell phone, on my desk, and we can go over a reel cleaning everybody together. I know I had some people donating and asking for that, so should be kind of fun. Let's see. The BPS sale is posted on the site under store info. Okay, people are talking about the BPS sale. Shields has a Thunder Cricket for $10.99. Dang. Oh, wait, the Thunder Cricket. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to their normal price, isn't it? I was thinking the Jackhammer. What else? 40% off at Bass Pro right now on certain items. Well, that's a pretty good deal. Tanner Pules. I see you cheering for the Hawks all the time. Did you go to school there, or are you just a lifelong fan? No, man, I've been a Hawk fan. We don't have any pro teams here in Iowa, and my parents like to watch college sports growing up, college basketball. So we used to go to the games. My dad would get tickets from work. So I've just always been a Hawkeyes basketball fan. It's probably not been until the past, I don't know, 8-9 years that I started watching Hawkeye football, because I've always been a big basketball fan. I didn't go there. I went to a smaller private college here in where I live in Iowa, but I'm like 20 minutes from Iowa City, where the university is at. So I'm a big fan. Oh, yeah, Dizzle Fishin. Dizzle's Fishin says turtleback blade. That's that other blade I was talking about. What are we at? We are almost at an hour and a half. Let's see. What else? Do we have any good questions? I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. Comment right now if you've got a question that you're dying for me to answer. Carson Wiley says, go Hawks, number 5 in men's basketball right now. Yeah, dude, I am stoked. I hope they can win the Big Ten. Hope they can. Let's see. Carson Kirshner says, the new Black Max is based off the Roxani. Oh, the Roxani frame. Yeah, the Roxani, I don't understand that reel. I've got a review coming on that soon, and you guys will kind of see why, but if they make a Black Max at that price that's pretty close to Roxani, that might be a legit reel. Let's see. Baits to throw when the ice melts. So I think I kind of already covered that. So spinning jerk baits, lipless crankbaits, finesse jigs. As it starts to warm up a little bit, slow rolling a spinner bait, slow rolling a swim bait, like a little paddle tail, soft plastic swim bait on like a jig head. Those are my big ones that I throw. Oh, and an Ed rig. I like to throw an Ed rig too. Let's see. Chris Russ. Debo, what lure are you going to throw when we get open water? Everything I just mentioned. And I'm going to go through those until I find something that works, and then I'm going to hopefully keep catching them. They'll probably only be dinks, but at least I'm catching something. Let's see. Thoughts on the new Guggen Dart? I don't know what the Guggen Dart is. Brady Johnson. Randizzle probably does. Randizzle's got, I think, every Guggen bait ever made. Randizzle, what's the Guggen Dart? People saying, hi, Debo. Debo, what's your bed fish and bait? Justin Crum. So I'm not a huge bed fishing guy. I hate to, like, just spend a bunch of time in one spot. Like, I have nothing against catfishing or, like, dead sticking lures, like, you know, with, like, a bobber and minnow, but I hate just sitting and doing nothing. So to, like, keep throwing one bait at one fish on a bed for 45 minutes is not my deal. I know Randizzle throws a jig on it a lot. I know a lot of people throw like a shaky head, drop shot, anything you can kind of keep on that bed. A lizard, I've had good luck with like a Texas rigged Berkeley or Bass Pro Shops lizard. I'm sure there's more things, but that's kind of what I've went with. Go to Pima623, go-to jig trailer. It's going to depend on the time of year. Colder water, I want a jig trailer that has less action. So for me, by far, Reaction Innovations, Sweet Beaver or Smalley Beaver. In the warmer water, something that has more commotion to it. So it could be anything from like I know Randizzle loves the Rage Craw Chunks. I'm trying to think what I've thrown a lot, like the net bait pack across. Actually, I've thrown a ton of just the regular Rage Craw, just not the actual chunk, just a Rage Craw bit down on the back of a jig. So you've got all kinds of options. But as the water warms up, oh, obviously the Pit Boss too, the Havoc Pit Boss, something with more action. Let's see. Debo, have you seen the new Lose IZ Pro or LZ Pro? If you have, has it? I don't know what it is. Clayton and Lady the Beagle? I don't know what that is. Is that a reel or a rod? Something from Lose? Hook sets are free. Hey, hook sets are free. You're the guy that posts all the awesome lure pictures. I know you. Thanks. I didn't know you were on YouTube. What's my favorite IG page to follow? Gosh, I don't know. I don't know, man. I couldn't pick one. You make some awesome photos. Indie Fishing comes to mind as somebody who posts a ton of bait pictures. He does a great job posting. I don't know. I have a lot of people I follow. I like lots of people. Let's see. Rattlesnake or Pocket Rocket? Colin Gordon says, oh, Pocket Rocket for sure. Pocket Rocket is my favorite stick bait type soft plastic. I know we need to get Reaction Innovations to sponsor me and drop a whole truckload over here, but they make a lot of good stuff. I'm not sponsored by them, but I just like their lures. Let's see. White Hawk Outdoors. Hey, Debo, if you had a medium heavy fast rod and a medium spinning rod, what would be your next rod? That's a good question. Actually, I was going to do a bank fishing video just like this. He said, I'll be converting top water moving baits, bottom, etc. I'm going to do a video like that very soon because I've actually had multiple people asking me about the combos. Do you think the combos that I have are good? What would you change? What would you do? For me, I'm kind of biased because I always have to have a heavy power rod with 50 or 65 pound braid for frogging. So if I don't have a heavy power rod, I feel like I'm kind of naked. But it's really going to depend on what you fish. You know, for a lot of people, a medium power rod, the way they fish is their most versatile rod. For me, I'm kind of like you, a medium heavy fast rod, like a 7-ish foot is my most versatile. Completely depends on who you talk to. So I'm going to do like a top 3 and then my kind of 2 bonus to kind of bump it up to like a top 5 combo video. So look out for that one. I just need more time to film these. Frogman Pipe says, would you ever do a cooking video? I don't know. Like Debo in the kitchen. I've done some catch and cook ice fishing stuff. Like an actual cooking video, like me making meatloaf? Probably not. Oh, Clayton and Lady, is it Beagle? I'm sorry if I butchered that. It says it's a combo. It's at Walmart. I've never heard of it. I'm sorry. I was actually just looking on Academy at a Lose. I was just talking to Randizzle before. What was it? A Lose Hack Attack something? Real? Caught my eye. It looked cool. What else? Oh, yeah. Hookset says Chris Indy. Yep. Indie Fishing is awesome indeed. Yeah, he makes some awesome picks out there. He's always grinding. Dudes, I don't know how the hell he has time to do all those. Old All-Star Rod. Have you ever used Guggen jigs? I've not used any Guggen jigs. Like I said, hit up Randizzle. I think he's got all the Guggen jigs ever made. Best trout lure, inline spinner, the rooster tail, in my opinion. What are we at? Oh, hour 29, 37 seconds. I think we're going to close it up here. I'm picking 2 more questions. Let's see. I'm going to go all the way down. Somebody said, I love the air fryer. Yes, I do love the air fryer too. Okay, so GGS YouTube. Debo, how many subs would you want in order to do YouTube full-time? Dude, that's going to depend. I'm not the guy to ask on that. I'm not full-time at it. It's going to depend on the rate at which you have people watching your videos. YouTube now, especially like making money on YouTube, is all about how many people actually watch consistently on your videos. Like I've got people that are smaller channels than me who I've talked to have better like turnover ratio. So when they drop a video within like first few days, they've got 20,000 views already. And I'm shooting for like, if I have a good video, I'm within like 10,000 views in the first few days. But there's people with like 20,000 less views that are, you know, a lot more views than me. So it all depends on views. I honestly don't know, man. I don't know. No idea. Let's see. Mark Thuralt says, White Hawk Outdoors. I just got a medium moderate rod for crankbaits. Alex Rudd did a good video on discussing options. Yeah, absolutely. Check out Rudd. Rudd's a good dude. He does a lot of the same stuff as I do. You know, down to earth, normal guy. He has a full-time job, does, you know, the fishing stuff for fun, YouTube on the side. He has a ton of good videos. So yeah, if he has a video discussing crankbait stuff, absolutely go check Rudd out. Okay, so Dave Washburn says, was at Field and Stream today. Employee pointed out how the Guggen emblems were already coming off their rods. I couldn't talk about that. I don't have a Guggen rod. I have no clue. Let's see. Mag023 says, can you do a boat box vid, regular stuff you keep in the John boat? I overpack my John boat. I'm probably not the guy to ask, but I could do something like that. I could do a John boat tour. So I call my John boat the aluminum kayak. John boats kind of get the worst of both angles because like boaters, you know, and they're nice Z, whatever, 19, whatever, nitros, think John boat guys are trash. And then you go over into the, like the yak community and they're like, oh, John boats are junk. You need to get a yak. My John boat's like an 11-foot John boat. It's basically the same as a kayak. And I have a trolling motor on it. I can carry, you know, 8 different combos in it with ample room to carry 2 batteries. I don't know. I love my John boat. Maybe I'm just, that's Midwest ingenuity here at its finest, but I don't know. Okay, one more question. One more question, then we're going to call it a night. Let's see. People, thank you. Debo, are you going to go spring fishing? Heck yes, I'm going to go spring fishing. Cooking fish, how are you? Let's see. One more question. Watching from Des Moines, another fellow Iowan here. Let's see. Anybody else to spend more time? Cheon fan Kim says, does anybody else here spend more time fishing than with their families? No, I do not. Family has to come first. You know, having kiddos, they have to come first. And fishing, I fit in whenever I can. That's the thing, though. I feel like a lot of people get lazy on fishing. That's what I'm going to end with. People ask me, how can I catch more fish? What do I need to be doing? Fish whenever you can. So Rand Dizzle and I both preach it. If you only have an hour to fish, get out and fish. I can't tell you how many times I've only had 45 minutes to go out and fish, and I've caught a ton of fish, whereas I've had days where I've fished for 8 hours and caught like 2 fish. So whenever in doubt, go fishing. But that's it from me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry for the hiccup at the beginning and not being able to get stupid Streamlabs to work. I think I'm going to look into an alternative now that this isn't working. But thank you all so much for watching. Be on the lookout for more vids and stuff soon. But I appreciate you guys a ton. Thank you for everybody who donated tonight, too. You guys blew me away. But I appreciate you all. Thank you. Love you guys. And until next time, thanks for watching.